at the end of this party, I was sort of wandering around the garden looking at things, and this is after everybody left, and um, in the corner of my eye, I see this guy. I see this guy who was he was walking down the hill, and he was wearing a trench coat, which was sort of unusual, and the, he he this the, this trench coat was like something. It was almost like a robe. It flowed on. It was almost to the ground. And he comes walking down the hill, and I catch him out of the corner of my eye, and I go up to him and I meet him, and he's this really sort of fascinating person. His eyes were just very captivating, and I usually don't even look at that. Like, but I could just see this person was very interesting, and he asked me about this garden, but he told me that the garden was really beautiful. At the time, it was controversial because the people in the administration wanted it out of there, and they wanted to get rid of it, and I had to like keep bugging, asking them or writing letters or that type of thing, or getting the support of the community, to write the administration and say, please don't destroy the garden, it's worth keeping, that type of thing. But they had other plans, and anyway, I told this guy about it. He came down the hill with a trench coat, and I said, why don't you write a letter if you think this garden is so nice? Well, what he did was he started walking through the garden. He said, do you want me to show you this and I can explain to you? And he goes, yes. But he ends up going ahead of me, and he starts pulling money out of his pockets and throwing it on the ground. Like, I don't know where this money came from. Every time he reached in his pocket, he had a handful of quarters. And he kept throwing it on the ground, and we walked all through the garden. And as he was doing that, he gave me the sermon. And I can't remember everything that he said during the sermon, except that he would say, oh, this money is for this reason, and so that people will come here. And then he'd take his other hand and go on his other path, and this money is for this, and the last thing that he said was that, and this money is for the little children who will enjoy this garden forever, or something like that, okay? So it's something like that. And I was like in awe. It was like, this guy, whatever he was saying was so profound. I was just like, wow, that's very interesting. So, all right, this incident probably took place in a matter of 20 minutes at the very most. Me talking to him coming down the hill, me talking to him, and then him throwing the money on the ground, giving me the sermon, and then, departing. So I see him walk up the hill, and I was so fascinated by this guy. I wanted to ask him one more question, ask him this and that. And I ran. I said, oh, and then this woman, Judy, who's helped me organize this garden, she was like cleaning up in the shed, like she was like kind of just getting things together and stuff. And then I go, Judy, did you see that guy? Did you see that guy? I said, he was like just here a little bit ago. And she said, I didn't see a thing. I said, you're kidding me. I said, you can't believe what this guy was just like, he just talked to me and he was throwing money on the ground. It was really amazing. And I said, now I got to leave for a second. I got to see him. I want to say goodbye to this person. And I run up the hill, and this could not have been more than a minute, that I had talked to Judy and ran up the hill. And I go up to the top of the hill, and there was nobody there. There was not a car leaving. There was not a person. I ran into the other adjacent parking lot to see if there was a car over there, and there was nobody. There was like nobody at all. Not even people were in the park visiting the park. Like nothing, except Judy's car, because she was there, and I didn't have a car. So he just vanished. And I always thought that this person was like, I don't know, I don't want to say.